All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is Friday, July 28th, 2023. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the YouTube channel. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Dow Futures up 170 points. NASDAQ up about 1.12%. S&P 500 up 0.70%. With Russell up nearly 1%, 1984, 3.979% on the 10-year Treasury yield. So yields pulled back. Obviously, we were above 4 yesterday. The dollar pulling back 101.60. We're going to talk a little bit about that as we had some Japanese economic headlines come in from the BOJ yesterday. Good morning, JJ. VIX down 6.45%, 1348. I talked about that on the blog yesterday, that the VIX on Friday's not very kind to the VIX. So could be just one of those sell programs or so. But lately, it's been just an absolute smash of the VIX. Getting a little bit of a bounce here in the dollar, as I can see, but equities are riding higher. Again, we talked about this on the blog last night. So if you haven't joined as of yet on the blog, you're really missing out. Crude oil up about 0.08%. ExxonMobil missed their earnings, their EPS target, $80.17 on crude oil. Gasoline, $2.90, up 0.77%. Gold futures, 1992, near that 2000 level. 24.40 for silver, getting a little bit of a bounce. Copper up 0.65%, $3.90. Euro dollar flat, 110.05. Dollar yen, a very volatile one last night. As you can see, we have traded it, but we did not trade it last night. So a very volatile one. We actually got the breakdown that I was looking for. Thankfully, we didn't send anything, which we didn't want to. But getting a bounce here now on the dollar yen. Again, we're going to talk about that here in a second regarding the BOJ headlines. Pound dollar up 63 pips, 128.58. Bitcoin, 29,485. And Ethereum, 1884 this morning. Now at the highs of the session, looks like we're tagging about 4,600 on ES. What I really want to start with was what I wrote. I wrote some market notes yesterday for the blog. And I was talking about what happened, generally what happened yesterday, what caused the fall. Usually when the stock market is up, I mean, I don't think anyone really wants to know why it went up. I think everyone is just content that it did. But when it goes down, I think that always gives me the chance to kind of explain things. And I did for the most part in regards to the dollar and yields and fixed income. Intel had a great quarter. And again, they beat. It was actually a positive reading on their earnings. The expectation was a negative EPS, earnings per share. So very good stuff for the semiconductor space. We're going to take a look at those names today. And then also Ford with a beat and raise of their guidance. Remember, Ford is cars, automobiles. That's very cyclical. That's showing that consumer confidence and people are spending. So with that being said, I did talk about yesterday NASDAQ futures being right at that trend line support of right around, I think we're going to call it what? 550? Yeah, about 550 is that trend line supports, 15,550. And we did play long. We moved the stop and then it got volatile and we got stopped out. Unfortunately, good news, we caught S&P 500 futures. And again, using this trend line or really support here. And what's good is about going long or doing reversals on a support is that you can have a tight stop because you'll know if you're wrong rather quickly if you break down. Yes, you can have wick breakouts, wick breakdowns, but for the most part, reversals tend to be a little easier and cheaper. Absolutely. Put call ratios yesterday were at their highest point of July. So, like I said, I think the Bears were. The Bulls were Bears were pretty much setting themselves up to get killed. We did trade Microsoft puts yesterday. We got out yesterday, thankfully, because now we're getting this bounce here. More than likely, we're going to get to around 16K today. I did write that on the blog. Let me see here. See. ES, I was expecting 4,600 to about 4,620. Where is exactly where I wrote the expectations? So I said also yesterday regarding the shooting star candle. I said last time we had a shooting star candle on the SPX was on July 21, literally a week ago. We jumped from 45.61 to 46.34, which was yesterday's highs. Before that was the 7th of July. We were at 44.31, and look where we are now. So it seems like the bears are just trying their best to take any little bit of bad news or perceived bad news. We have to reach to Japan now just to get bad news, and they're selling. So again, I said this before, kind of need a reason to buy, right? That's what everyone's expecting. You don't really need a reason to sell. So, I mean, we just got to see what we get. 4,600 is about 3 points away. So all's looking good. I mean, I kind of recapped everything. PCE met expectations. I'll give you the reading as well. Core PCE beat expectations. The headline PCE was met expectations. So a couple of things that stood out to me is that the data of the economic week so far, Ford having a great report, increasing guidance, consumer confidence beat on Monday, Fed raised as expected. I mean, there was no deviation. Advanced GDP also beat with stronger consumer spending, and unemployment claims are still going down. So the labor market is really unaffected at this moment with regards to raising rates. So let's get you the exact number. PCE, this is personal consumption expenditures. This includes rent. Remember, CPI does not include rent. It includes mortgages and payment of that nature, housing. But 3% versus 3% on the headline on the year-over-year basis. The previous reading was 0.8%. That's pretty big. You're almost about 20% drop from those levels. Core PCE 4.1% versus a 4.2% expectations. That's year-over-year. Core is excluding auto and gas. 4.6% was the previous reading. That's a drop of around 50 basis points. So, I mean, you're getting disinflation. The problem is that could that lead to deflation? We don't see that yet because asset prices are going higher. But again, remains to be seen. Let's answer some questions. Hey, how do we get a cap like yours? This was made at Lids. But if you guys are interested in the hats, I could always make some, but these are fitted. So again, I have a big head, 7 5/8. So one of these days, we did have a store for shirts and stuff like that, and I kind of got away from it. I think we built that about 1.5 years ago. But again, if you like these hats, I'd have to send you over the link of the actual kind of logo. Or worst case, I'll go looking for you guys. Just shoot me a comment or shoot me a DM on Instagram at CEO Gar Capital, and then we could do some kind of giveaway. I really don't want to sell it. I mean, if you guys are willing to wear these hats, hell, I'll just send it to you because that represents the team and again represents my company. So thank you. Futures printing bags, well done. That's right. We got futures with that. We got stopped out on flat. I held. So well done to the team. Here it is. We got that's the trophy room. Futures trades. If I can just get it here, and you can see again I held NQ, but we got stopped out at break even just on the volatility. I was just being extremely safe with you guys as possible. Not easy, but at least we got ES, and looks like we're heading in the right direction. Still holding Apple, Hood, and BABA calls. Yes, unfortunately, and yesterday's drop did kill it. So I mean, nothing is really dead. We still have a whole day. Let's see if BABA breaks. I mean, we need 99. We're at 98.41, and it's just been an absolute tease every day, but a nice gap up on BABA. I mean, it's happened to me before where we actually get the target, but we just run out of time. So unfortunate. And it comes to Hood, complete chop fest, sloppy price action, was waiting for this break, did not get it, had to push higher yesterday, and then we fell. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Just run out of time. Apple, same deal. Look how close we got to breaking out, and then it just rejected. Reminds me of around 2-3 Thursdays ago. Remember when we had that where we were just like, damn, it was a tough week. We just had the rug pull from Thursday. It happens, but I think now, looking forward, we just got to make up for it. That's really it. You just got to keep pressing forward. And again, the day's not over. Day's not over. I still have Google calls too. Maybe that prints today. Have them for next week. If you remember talking on YouTube yesterday, I was talking about Google breaking and looking for some calls. So if you want to take a look at yesterday's video, we talked about that. We'll do always a gentleman. Cheers. Why did banks fall yesterday? Everything fell yesterday. It wasn't just banks. But again, you had higher interest rates. I don't think that hurts the banks. But in regards to any kind of specific headlines, no. Everything just fell yesterday. Thoughts on Intel? Intel did break out from the hourly. So we are now at 36.87. I have traded this name before, been a while. But in order for us to really do anything here on Intel, let's break 37.04, and then we have a gap to fill here, guys. So let's see it here. We have a gap right around 39.02. Maybe we could play the 38s and ride that wave higher. I did Micron yesterday with Masterclass, so that was a nice trade right before that's the slam on Micron. As you can see, we had that push. Now we're pushing higher, but I got out of that thing. I think we had the 73s or the 72s on MQ for Masterclass. Let me see. See if I can get this here. Masterclass only. Yeah, I got 32% and got out. I was just happy to get it. 73s. Okay, we got the 73 calls. I got 32%. Moved on with my day, but I just wanted the snack. Now trading at 72.05. I mean, if we do get volume, I'm gonna see if we break above 72.35. That's yesterday's peak, and then we can just trade the 73s because there is a Fibonacci level, the 50% fib retracement level, right at 73.44 with a little bit of room to 75. Break 72.35. I'll take a look at the 73s for calls on Micron for next week, but we'll see what we get. Let's go and keep it moving with the semiconductors. You know, we're at 112.90 for AMD. Again, until we get to 115.98, you're just getting chopped, guys. It sucks, unfortunately. As you know, every week I do the market recap. We talk about all of our live trades and what we did. I'll go over some future stuff. We're going to go over some Forex stuff, and we're going to go over all of our options trades. Yes, our streak has continued yesterday with Microsoft puts. We are at 20, new record 20. That might end this week because we have a couple of losses on the board, unfortunately. It was a hell of a ride, and we'll go into detail more on the recap at the end of the day. I'll do it later in the evening. I usually tend to relax on Fridays right after the bell after a long week. So just give me a little bit and I'll make it for you guys. So make sure to turn on notifications if you haven't already so you don't miss out. Let's take a look at NVIDIA together. NVIDIA, again, pretty much chop as of right now. I mean, you're going to have to wait for 480 for anything to break there if you're trying to play upside. Could you be saying that this is a cup and handle? Possibly. But NVIDIA, I mean, unless you're selling upside calls, like one of our students Swaggy's doing, and he's making some money, good for him. You're really not doing much on NVIDIA unless you're scalping. So I would just kind of wait on that. Let's go and take a look at Google together. 133.72, that's where I have my alert now. But kind of setting up again for a nice big cup and handle, right? You can see cup and then your little handle and you pop. Problem is that we have a gap to fill at 133.72, which I fully expect us to get because it took forever for Meta, which is in the same space, to fill this gap. So it's either going to be this week or next week for Alphabet, Google to fill that gap. And Netflix, also in that same space, had its gap nearly filled, but not as of yet. So if we get a bounce on Netflix, maybe above the 20-day moving average around 440 or so, again, it's going to be a little bit. We could play that upside gap, but as of right now, just hold off on Netflix. I think Google is the better play for more upside as we have two upside gaps. Also had a price upgrade on Palantir. Palantir matters because I own shares, so I actually give a damn. Palantir is up this morning. In terms of what we want to play, I'm going to place an alert here at 17.25. If it does break, it'll just give me an idea to what to look for. Would I want to trade this as of right now? No. Again, but just to keep an eye on Palantir for more upside. Why? Because I expect us to fill this upside gap to 23.98. We just got to clear 20. That really 19. That's kind of the big resistance. That's the December 2021 highs on Palantir, and we're kind of setting up for that big old cup and handle. So we'll see what we get. So what's more important on contracts, open interest or volume? It's always volume. Think of it this way. Open interest, that's just the amount out there. That's the stock, the amount of stock available in terms of contracts. And volume is how much is trading. And again, I don't care what's available. I just want to buy stuff that's going to move. Again, obviously Palantir being a bad example. I own shares. Mara I trade a lot. We have traded a lot. I don't own one single share. I'm not interested in owning a share of Mara. I just want to trade those contracts. So again, I want to buy what people want to sell and what people want to buy in the future. So again, for example, if you want to buy a watch and you're into watch investing, you're going to buy a model like Rolex or so that sells. Now, again, there's other brands like Zenith that maybe some haven't heard of. Most people probably don't know what that is, so they're not going to sell as well. So again, those are names like Berkshire Hathaway. They don't trade a ton of options. Doesn't mean they're a bad company. It just means, you're not going to get demand. So again, as a trader, you always want to sell or buy what's in demand so we can make money later. So all we're doing is renting. We're renting the stock with contracts for a week or 2 weeks, and then after that, we don't want to hear about you. Don't call me, I'll call you, and that's it. So volume being more important than open interest. Open interest just showing how much is available or how much contracts are written for someone to buy or sell, what have you. So again, you may get some differentiation sometimes where you have a ton of open interest with no volume. And again, open interest is important. Sometimes that does give you a little bit of tell of where a particular stock is moving towards because of the bets on it. Sounds casino talk, but that's the reality of the stock market. It's really a giant casino, guys. You're staring in front of a financial slot machine. It's not good or bad. It doesn't have any personal traits. Really, the reason you're here is how you're going to take advantage of it. That's it. We can talk about right or wrong with economics all day that, oh, this is a casino. Fine. But again, hey, man, we're just trying to pay the rent. We're just trying to pay the mortgage, put the kids through college, and that's why you're here. So we're just going to take advantage. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your Friday. I will see you guys after the bell, and we'll go and recap the whole week and see what we did right, what we did wrong, and what we can do moving forward to get better. We'll go ahead and see you then. Cheers.